Hey sis, are you there? I heard something was going on with you, but I'm glad that everything seems to have settled down now. I always knew that you were so nice, but I can't believe that you put yourself through all of that just for me. You really are too kind. Do you know that? Tracy, I really wasn't doing what I did for your sake, you know. I broke off my engagement with my fiancé because I caught you two having an affair with each other. Well, I know, but you were engaged to a CEO. You know that it's always been my dream to marry a rich man, right? I don't even know what to say to something like that. Is that supposed to be an excuse? Well, I've just always wanted to live like a spoiled princess, you know? I really don't know. What in the world does that even mean in this day and age? Besides, where did a dream like this even come from? It isn't like we were horribly poor or fantastically rich growing up. Well, I know, but that doesn't mean that I can't want to marry someone who is really rich, because if I did that, then I would never have to work another day in my life. And now I found that man after all this time. It really is like a real-life Cinderella story, isn't it? I don't remember the scene in Cinderella where one of the ugly sisters steals her prince away. Are you sure we were watching the same movie growing up? Oh, come on. You can't actually be mad at me for taking him for myself, right? Don't you know that all's fair in love and war? You just gotta get over this. You think this is something someone can just get over? This isn't a toy or something that you stole from me this time. We aren't kids anymore. You're right, we're adults, and I think that you're forgetting your place right now. I stole your fiancé from you, and that's a fact. You just need to accept the fact that you've been dumped for the better woman. You think I've been dumped? Please, I wouldn't have taken Jerome back if he came begging for me to take him back. I wonder if you have any idea just how pathetic and desperate you sound. I really don't care what you have to say about this anymore. I am through with the both of you. You really don't get it. You aren't the one calling the shots here. Jerome left you for me. Do you understand that? And it's because you weren't enough for him. He chose me over you because it's clear that I'm the better choice. And that's why we had an affair behind your back, because you couldn't make your fiancé happy and now he's left you. I really don't care how you try and frame it. It is true that Jerome cheated on me, and that's why we're not getting married. But do you see me crying and moaning over losing him? Whatever, I just know that you've gotten better at hiding it now. But you've always been a little crybaby ever since we were little. Now who's the one trying to act all tough? We both know that you were the one who would resort to tears right away. You're just trying to project your feelings onto me, but it's not going to work. You think that I'm crying over getting your fiancé? As if. I think it's hilarious. I couldn't be happier about this. You have no idea how long it's been my dream to marry someone like a CEO and never have to work again. It's like my whole life has been leading to this moment. You really have no idea what you're talking about, do you? But whatever. What's done is done. Oh, come on! You can't just be taking it that easy. Can't you send me a message in all caps or shout at me over the phone or something at least? I'm not going to do that, but you should know that Jerome is not a CEO. What in the world are you talking about? Of course he's a CEO. He's the boss of the company that you work for, isn't that right? Actually, we have joint management of the company, if you must know. Hold on a second. What is that supposed to mean? How can you both manage the company? Well, I actually started the company with my startup capital. Jerome just snuck his way up the ranks using connections of his. The company is, however, all mine. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. What in the world are you talking about? I mean that when we first met while working for different companies, I had just established mine, and as it grew, Jerome showed interest in helping out. Then we started to talk about getting married. After I got pregnant, the board insisted that I have a co-manager in case anything happened to me, and they selected Jerome. So then, you two had the same job at the same time, but the company was really yours? But then, I don't get it. Are you telling me that you're also the CEO of a company? I would say I'm more CEO than Jerome. After all, it was my money that began the company. And I'd double check about Jerome still being a CEO since he would have been fired by now. Fired? What do you mean by that? I mean that once the board found out that Jerome was cheating on me, they asked him to step down and began a full investigation into him. It turns out that he was using company money to take you out for meals and on dates. So the board had more than enough evidence to fire Jerome right then and there. In fact, I believe all of this happened last week. Last week? Are you sure? He hasn't told me anything about any of this. Well, you might want to go and try talking to him about some of this in that case. But then, doesn't this mean that Jerome isn't even a CEO and that I won't actually be marrying a really rich guy? That's what you're worried about? I tell you that Jerome was embezzling from the company, something he could go to jail for, and that's all you care about? You're just lucky the board already agreed not to press charges as long as Jerome pays the money back. Of course, we are prepared to press charges if that doesn't happen. But I was supposed to live life like a princess. I thought I had stolen your man away from you with my charm and good looks. But now you're telling me that the man I stole from you doesn't even have a job? Yeah, and I don't imagine he has much in the way of savings, given how lavishly Jerome likes to live. But why didn't you say anything about this to me sooner? You should have warned me about him. Ugh, I never want to talk to you again. Are you really saying that to me? Oh, that message isn't showing up as read. Well, okay then. Have a nice life, sis.
Hey Mabel, are you there? What the heck is the matter with you, huh? Why the heck did you have to go and tell your sister that I wasn't the CEO of our company anymore, huh?
First of all, it isn't our company. It's always been my company. Second of all, don't be upset just because I told my sister the truth. Not only about your job, but also all about how you were fired. After all, it's not like I ever promised that I wouldn't tell her.
You little... Don't you realize what you've done? Now she doesn't want to marry me anymore. You've messed up my whole life with this.
Oh, so you mean you've managed to fumble marrying 2 women now? You've really got to work on that, Jerome.
You would like to think so, wouldn't you? But it shows what you know.
And just what is that even supposed to mean, huh?
I mean that I wanted to see how you would react. The truth is that I talked to your sister and smoothed things out. So we're still going to be getting married.
And just what kind of lies did you have to tell her to get her to go along with that?
I told her that the reason I chose to step down from my position as CEO of our company is so that I can do and start my own company. And I've already been preparing for this for a long time. After all, I was the one who took our company to where it is today. I know all about how to raise a successful company from the ground up now.
You're really going to start a company all by yourself?
What? Like it's hard? I'm going to start a company and it's going to grow far beyond what you could ever imagine. I'll dominate the industry and become untouchable.
Well, you might know how to found a company, but that doesn't mean that you're any good as a manager. And I don't think you've ever shown any promise there anyways.
Are you kidding me? You're just jealous because I left you and our company to go start my own with my new woman.
You can't actually think that I'm jealous of either you or my sister, right? You realize how stupid you sound, don't you?
Whatever. You're the one who doesn't know what you're talking about. Tracy and I are going to live happily ever after while your company just crumbles without me. Just stay out of my way and never try to interfere with my life again.
I really don't care what you and my sister choose to do with your lives, but you do realize that you need capital to start a business, right? Do you have that kind of money? Because I know that you still owe me for the legal fees from your affair.
You think a genius like me needs to waste my brain power on small details like that? I have big plans, and when I tell them to the bank, they're going to have to give me my loan. And I'll get the loan and start my company and have everything up and running in 6 months.
6 months, huh? You really think you can handle doing all that in such little time? Well, in that case, I want you to pay me what you owe me right now.
This is why you always used to get on my nerves. The second you saw that I was going anywhere in life, you would always find a way to try and hold me back. Why can't you just be more like your sister and let me do whatever I want without making little comments on it?
If you've got a problem with constructive criticism now, just wait until you're in a boardroom meeting. Besides, you knew that I was like this when we first started dating. Did you really expect me to change?
You know, I never even wanted to be engaged to you. But I knew that it was the only way to hold on to my position and my power. But then I met your sister, and I realized I didn't have to sell my soul to live like this. What your sister and I have is true love, and it's going to give us the success we need.
Well, I really do hate to stomp on your dreams, but let's just hope that it's true love that you two have.
Of course it is! We've tied together and nothing is ever going to come between us.
Well, good luck with that. I just hope that you two can stay together long enough to be married.
You'll see. We'll prove you wrong! We'll prove everyone wrong! And then you'll realize that you should have never underestimated me. Just now that I'm never going to work with your company again. So when I'm dominating the industry, you'll have to struggle just to keep the lights on.
Well, you have to go found your own company and get it off the ground first, so good luck with that. And do hurry up and send me the money that you owe me, okay?
Oh, you'll just have to wait for that. But don't worry. Once I have all my success, I'll be sure to pay you back that money with interest. And then you'll realize that that's only a taste of the wealth I'll have. Then you'll see how wrong you were about me.
Hey there, Mabel. I just thought you should know Jerome and I moved in together. At first, I was worried about all the things you were telling me about him, like how he wasn't a real CEO or how he embezzled from the company. But then he finally started his own company. And now we've moved into an amazing condo, and we're the happiest that we've ever been. It's amazing. You moved into a condo together with Jerome? Because I haven't even heard anything about him creating a new company. Well, I suppose that's probably because Jerome just runs in different circles from you, doesn't he? This is where we're going to move into. He told me that he already paid for the condo and that they're just getting it ready for us. Oh, wait a second. I think I recognize that view. Isn't that Mammoth Towers? You mean even you've heard of this amazing luxury condo building? Yeah, I have, actually. Do you know what room you're going to be living in? And just why would I share that with you? Don't tell me that you're going to try to break in and try to steal Jerome away from me. Because you should know that the building has guards in it and someone like you won't be allowed in. Right. Well, in that case, I guess you shouldn't worry about telling me the room number. Ugh, whatever. If you must know, the room number is 2305. So you're on the 23rd floor then? That's right, we're almost at the very top of the building. I've never gotten to stay in a place so nice. We're finally going to have our happily ever after. Well, it's just kind of funny because that's my unit. Wait, what? What in the world are you talking about? Do you really think I'm going to buy a lie like that? You have to come up with something better. I'm not kidding you at all. I own unit number 2305 in Mammoth Towers. Oh, just stop it already. Jerome sent me that photo from his phone. He was inside the unit and everything. There's no way that you own the building that we're about to move into. That doesn't make any sense at all. Well, yes, I'll say the interior does look like it's changed a lot. Although you should know that I got that unit because we bought it from Jerome's parents. But the building was under his dad's name for a while. Well, now you're not making any sense at all. How can it be your unit if it's under Jerome's dad's name? Okay, I guess I'll have to explain the whole thing then. So, that building was finished about a year ago. Around then, Jerome's dad thought to invest in the building company, thinking he would see some big returns. He bought a unit hoping to make a quick buck flipping it, but he wasn't able to pay for the whole thing. So then he came to me and asked me to buy it. So then, you're telling me that you bought this unit from Jerome's dad who couldn't afford to get one himself? Pretty much, yeah. But now that I look at this photo, I can see that this is from when Jerome's dad still took care of the place. And that's why it's so different from how I have the unit looking now. But this can't be right. I mean, Jerome said that he and I would be moving in there. I already have my bags packed and everything. Well, I don't know what to tell you, except that it's not Jerome's place to choose what to do with it. How could you do this to us? What's the matter with you? I didn't do anything. In fact, you were the one who said that you never wanted to talk to me again. So how is this all coming back onto me? Because we're supposed to go and live in that big condo building. We were supposed to have our happily ever after there. Why do you always have to ruin things for me, Mabel? You're the worst sister ever. Look, I know this is probably a lot for you to take right now, but you can't blame this on me. But it's not just now. You've always stolen everything I wanted from me, even when we were little. I didn't steal anything from you. In fact, you would always take from me. Whenever I tried to get it back, you would instantly start crying to get Mom and Dad on your side. But it's not fair. I want to live in that big condo. It should be all mine. Well, it was never yours nor Jerome's to begin with. A while ago, Jerome's dad needed money right away and offered to sell me the condo for the price he had put into it. I bought it and have been living there for a while. That's how I know that the interior looks different now. I don't know why Jerome thinks you two are moving in, but it's just not going to happen. If anything, I think that this is just one small part of a much larger lie that he's telling you. But this really isn't my problem anymore. Please don't bother me with stuff like this ever again. It turns out that when it was time to move, Jerome ended up taking my sister to go and move in with his parents. Apparently, they were in serious debt, and this was part of the plan to use Jerome and Tracy to pay off their debts. Tracy was messaging me, begging to help get her out of there, but I just read her texts and then blocked her number. She tried living with them for a couple of months, just hoping that this was all part of Jerome's plan to start his own company. Of course, he had never really even begun the process and was lying to Tracy this whole time about his intentions. I heard later from my parents that they ended up bailing out Tracy and rescuing her from her in-laws' house. Now, both my mom and dad are keeping a very close eye on Tracy and making sure she finds a job and learns some responsibility. As for me, life went on as normal. Nothing Jerome or Tracy did really ever had a chance to affect me. I told my parents that I wouldn't be doing anything to support my sister, and they understood and agreed with me.
Oh, dearie me, Chloe. Whatever are we going to do with you? I see you missed another one of our mother's meetings. I thought I made it clear you were definitely to show up this time. Why do you seem totally incapable of listening to a word I say?
I'm sorry, Karen, but like I mentioned before, I'm not going to have many chances to attend your mom's meetings from now on.
Excuse me?
Don't get me wrong. I'm really grateful for the invite, but I just started working full-time at a new company. I'm pretty sure I told you all this before, right? Your mom's meetings and tea parties are always held during the week, so there's just no way I'm going to be able to make them. I get that you want me to come, and I'm really appreciative of that. But at the end of the day, I have bills to pay. And if I skipped work to spend time with you guys, well, put it this way, I wouldn't have a job for very long. You do get where I'm coming from, right? It's not because I don't want to see you guys.
Get a load of this nonsense. Wait, you think you're special because you have a full-time job? Oh, I get it. You think you're better than me and the other moms, don't you?
No. Like, seriously, it's not like that at all.
Fine, I see how it is. So you're the type of woman who looks down her nose at stay-at-home housewives and temporary agency or part-time workers like me and the girls, are you?
Whoa. What the hell? How do you work that one out? No, it's not like that at all. You've got this all wrong. You know what? If that's what you think of me, then I'd rather we just terminated this relationship right here. That goes for the rest of the moms.
What did you just say? How dare you? You have no right to do that.
Our kids are all going to end up at different schools due to us all living in different school districts when they move up to elementary school. So we probably stop hanging out then anyway.
What kind of twisted backflip logic is that? To think I so kindly went out of my way to invite you. And this is how you repay me? With nothing but a bad attitude and disrespect? This is a slap in the face. Who the hell do you think you are?
In any case, I have a long business trip coming up. So it'd be literally impossible for me to make it to your get-togethers even if I wanted to. Would you mind leaving me alone from now on? Thanks, Karen. Goodbye.
Hello, Chloe. I heard your dad runs a high-end burger restaurant in the posh part of town. Well, I have a suggestion. Let's hold our next mother's meeting at your daddy's restaurant. How does that sound? With this, you can make up for not showing up to our past meetings in one fell swoop. Even if you are nothing but pathetic corporate livestock who spends her days slaving away in a cubicle while thinking she's better than everyone else. Me and the other moms can't turn down an offer of free burgers at one of the most luxurious burger joints in all of New York. A stroke of genius, if I do say so myself. As for the reservation at the restaurant, don't worry. I already booked us in. I knew that if I left it to you, you'd probably try to pull some pathetic stunt to get out of it. Oh, and by the way, it's tonight! I took the liberty of renting out the entire restaurant. So prepare for the luxury burger party of a lifetime. The reservation's at 6 p.m., so you better damn well show up this time. I invited a lot of people, so my reputation's on the line here. That's right, you're going to be there at 6 p.m. pronto, ready to entertain me and the other moms as the daughter of the restaurant owner. Naturally, you'll be paying for everything. Hello, Chloe. It's already way past 6 p.m., but you're nowhere to be seen. You can't seriously be telling me you're not coming to this one either. God damn it, Chloe! I went out of my way to make sure this party was held at a time you could definitely make. You can't use work as an excuse to get out of it this time. Not only that, but I even booked the party at your dad's restaurant, so you'd have no trouble finding the place. And you still have the nerve not to show up? Chloe, you've taken this friendship group for granted one too many times. I am livid. You won't get away with this. Is this what you wanted? Even if me and you did stop seeing each other due to living in different school districts, that doesn't mean you'd never see any of the kids from our mother's group again. Some of the girls' kids would still be in your children's classes. You do understand what I'm saying here, don't you? If you do, I suggest you get your ass to this restaurant pronto. But even if you don't, me and the girls fully intend to order every single burger on the menu. And all on your dime. You do know how much I love getting my lips around a thick, succulent piece of meat, right? That's a joke there. Alright, Let the burger party commence. Chloe, where are you? Why are you still not here? Me and the other moms rented out your dad's high-end burger restaurant all to ourselves. And the 50 of us are currently in the midst of a party of a lifetime. We ordered so many burgers. I think your dad's meat reserves might run out soon. I don't know why the hell you're taking so long, but you need to hurry up and get here before there's nothing left. I mean, really, how rude. To think the host would stand up her guest like this. Your hospitality could seriously use some work. Another round of burgers just arrived. Now that gets my juices flowing. Chloe, you didn't end up coming at all in the end. I'm so disappointed in you. What's worse, you didn't even reply to a single one of my messages. Tell me, dear, who exactly do you think you are? And what do you think gives you the right to behave so despicably? Oh well, what do I care? This is your dad's restaurant. And just as we agreed at the start, I'm going to tell them you'll be the one footing the bill. Alright, I think I'll treat myself to the single most expensive burger on the menu, followed by 3 luxurious desserts to finish up.
Huh? What is this?
Chloe? There you are. I was just about to message you. Won't you be a darling and talk some sense into the blockhead staff at your dad's restaurant?
What are you talking about?
You know, silly. You're going to pay for mine and the girls' magnificent burger party today, just like we agreed. The bill came out to $6,800, but I told the staff it was your treat. Be a dear and pass on the message to your dad so he can let them know, okay?
$6,800?
Well, there were 50 of us, not to mention all the hungry, crying children. It might sound like a lot, but it can't be helped given the circumstances.
50 people?
Yep, I pulled out all the stops for this one. I invited my old friends from high school and told them they could bring their families. Then there's all 12 of my ex-boyfriends, their parents, and of course the usual girls from our mother's meetings and their children.
I somehow feel like this is more than just a regular old mom's meeting.
Forget that. Why didn't you tell your dad about this beforehand, even though we discussed it all in advance? All this trouble could have been avoided if you had just done your job. It's one thing not to show up at the party, but another to completely ignore all of your responsibilities. Do you realize how awkward you've made things for me? The staff are getting all worked up about the bill now because of your negligence. I told them several times that the owner's daughter would be covering the bill, but they're insisting the owner only has a son.
Can you hold on a minute, please? I need to read through all the messages you sent.
Huh? What the? You mean you haven't been reading them at all?
You sent them all while I was on a long international flight. So there was no Wi-Fi, and my phone was turned off the whole time. When I turned it back on just now, it blew up with notifications.
Wait, what? You were on a plane?
Karen, I just got done reading through your messages.
Fantastic. Do you understand now? In that case, you need to hurry up and explain the situation to Daddy restaurant owner as soon as possible.
That high-end burger joint? Is it the one that's a few minutes walk away from the southern exit of Floppadoop Station?
Yes! Are you kidding me? It's your own father's restaurant, you silly girl. Surely you don't need me to confirm the address. Whatever. Just hurry up and let them know what's going on so we can leave and put this ridiculous situation behind us.
The owner of that burger joint isn't my dad. He's my ex-father-in-law.
Huh? Your ex-father-in-law?
Yes. The owner of that restaurant is my ex-husband's dad.
Huh? Wait, I don't even... Your ex-husband's dad?
Yep, we divorced half a year ago. Didn't I tell you?
Part
Part of the reason I stopped being able to come to the get-togethers as much was because I couldn't afford to get by as a stay-at-home housewife anymore. Which is why I ended up finding full-time work. I'm pretty sure I did already tell you this.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You told me that? Whatever. None of this matters. Father, father-in-law, ex-father-in-law, it's all the same in the end. You just need to give him a call, tell him you'll cover the bill, and make this all go away. And you'll do that, won't you, darling?
What? Pay the bill yourself.
But you promised to cover everything for us.
You should already know this. But at no point in the chat logs that I just went over did I make anything resembling a promise to cover the bill. Not even close.
Well, this is all your fault for not checking your phone. If you had just read my messages, none of this would be happening.
It's impossible to receive messages from 30,000 feet in the air, Karen. What do you think I am, a magician? Besides, even when I landed, I was so busy with the preparations for my business trip that I only used my work phone, which means I only just got around to turning my own phone back on. No matter how you look at it, there's no way any conversation that transpired between us could be interpreted as me consenting to pay a $6,800 bill at my ex-father-in-law's restaurant.
No. Wait a second. There has to be some kind of arrangement we can come to here. Chloe, are you in a different country now?
Yep. I'm in Canberra, Australia. Why?
Liar!
In any case, the reason I divorced my husband is because my in-laws were bullying me. You're dreaming if you seriously think I'd reach out to my scumbag ex-father-in-law over something this absurd.
Then who's going to cover the $6,800 bill?
I don't know. Pay it yourself?
There's no way I can afford to do that.
Well, how about you split it between everyone who showed up then? By my calculations, if there were 50 of you, assuming there were 10 children, that should come to about $170 per person. I doubt they'll be happy about it, but it sure as hell beats paying for everything yourself.
I can't slap my friends in the face like that. I promised them all the whole thing would be free. Besides, everyone went home already.
Oh, I see. Oh well, not my problem.
What?
Now, if you excuse me, I want to get a good night's sleep before tomorrow's business meeting. I won't be replying to your messages anymore.
No, wait! We're not done here. What am I supposed to do now? Seriously, I'm screwed if you don't help me. God damn you, Chloe. Do you have any idea how much crap I had to go through over these last few days because of you? My friends who came to the party burst out laughing at me when I told them what happened. And now none of them are speaking to me. And it's all because of you. I mean, it's not like there's any lasting damage. Because my husband paid the bill after a few carefully chosen words and a flutter of eyelashes. But still, you caused me a major pain in the ass. Mark my words, woman. I will be sending you a charge for that $6,800. So you better prepare yourself. You either pay or there'll be hell to pay. Do I make myself clear?
Hey, Karen. I don't think this is the time to be making empty threats.
Empty threats? Oh, believe me, you tragically deluded moron. You will be paying me.
My dad says your husband's fired.
Huh? Your dad? What are you talking about? Do you mean your real dad this time?
Yeah.
Why would your real dad be involved now?
Your husband works for Viral Cheesecakes, right?
Wait, what? How do you know that?
Because I work there too. And because my dad's the CEO.
The CEO?
Now, bearing that in mind, I have a question for you. Do you know how your husband managed to get a hold of the $6,800 he paid for the bill at the burger restaurant a few days ago?
He told me he took it out of his savings from back when he was single.
I see. So he didn't tell you the rest then?
The rest? What's that supposed to mean?
I guess I have no choice but to tell you myself. Don't worry. I have my dad's permission to discuss everything I'm about to tell you. What do you think your husband planned on doing after paying the bill?
What do you mean?
He tried to claim that $6,800 on company expenses.
What?
I'm sure even you understand that a party at a burger restaurant isn't an appropriate use of company expenses. When one of the employees in the accounting department realized what your husband was trying to do and reported him to HR, it occurred to them this might not be the first time he's misappropriated company expenses. Upon being summoned to a disciplinary meeting to explain himself, he confessed to everything. Your husband has been falsely claiming on company expenses for the last 2 years for things that don't even exist.
What?
Apparently, he tried to pull the wool over their eyes by mixing in the receipt from the burger joint in with a bunch of receipts from the business trip he went on last week. But with the amount of money being so outrageously high, obviously someone picked up on it. There's no way that your husband could have ended up with that receipt by accident. So the only reasonable explanation here is that the two of you were willfully attempting to defraud the company.
Is that why you just said he's fired?
The official investigation is still underway, which means the official announcement still hasn't been made. But this is textbook misappropriation of funds. It's written as clear as day in the terms of employment on the contract he signed when he started working for us, that doing so would make him liable for instant dismissal. So it's safe to say he's pretty much guaranteed to get fired when the investigation's over.
Oh my god! Is this really happening? This is bad! This is bad! This is bad! This is bad! Oh, what am I supposed to do now? Ugh!
And why are you asking me?
Because this was all your fault to begin with.
Don't blame me, Karen. You're the only one responsible for this.
What?
I told you why I couldn't make it to the moms' meetings anymore. But you couldn't just take what I said at face value, could you? Your ego was so bruised, you went out of your way to try and get your own back on me by renting the most expensive burger joint in town to throw a party for your friends and forcing me to pay for it. I didn't make a single reply to your deranged slew of messages, but still, in spite of that, you somehow managed to convince yourself I'd promised to pay. Then, as an unforeseen circumstance of your shenanigans, your husband was found to be stealing from my dad's company. So go on, Karen, tell me, which part of the story includes me doing anything wrong?
Because you stopped coming to our friendly get-togethers.
How many times do I have to tell you? I already told you why I couldn't make it anymore.
Well, it was still your fault.
We're just going around in circles now. I'm done with this conversation.
No, wait, Chloe, please, you have to help me. I'm screwed.
Not my problem. I'm pretty busy myself, you know. Your husband revealed some glaring flaws in our security procedures. So me and the rest of the executives at Viral Cheesecakes have to strengthen our systems to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
So what? What's your point?
My point is that I don't have any time to waste on the likes of you.
What?
Goodbye, Karen. After that, when we finished assembling the evidence dossier providing beyond doubt Karen's husband's misappropriation of funds, we sent him a bill for the entire sum he'd stolen. Luckily for him, he dodged prison when his parents jumped in to save his ass by covering the initial payment, before forcing him to work 14-hour per-day shifts at a friend's company in order to pay them back. Before long, he divorced Karen and cut all ties with her. As for their kids, they were temporarily taken in by some relatives, but I heard they'll both be getting put up for adoption soon. And that's the story of how Karen ended up all on her own. Rumor has it that her parents pulled a vanishing act in the middle of the night 10 years ago to escape the hell that was living in the same house as their argumentative bitch queen of a daughter. Which means that, in the absence of a family home to go to, Karen's still living in the same city. Somehow or other, despite having hardly any money to her name, she managed to find herself a rundown apartment in a part of town with all the hookers and crack dens. Hilariously, even her neighbors there don't trust her, and her existence as a social pariah continues. At least she has the cockroaches investing her new apartment to keep her company. Occasionally, an old friend who lives nearby sends me reports of an emaciated, worn-out-looking Karen, aimlessly wandering around town with a bottle of whiskey, while sobbing uncontrollably.